Hello everyone. In this video lesson, you are going to learn how to play Workplace 1G, Make the Sum. After you've watched this video, you will go back to the directions page of this Seesaw activity and click on the link there. It will bring you to this page. The first page of the game is actually instructions. After you've watched this video, if you feel comfortable with playing, you can just skip this and go right to the game page. That's down here on the bottom. You'll see two little pages. Right now, the first page is blue, and that's the one we're on, but the game is actually on the next page. So click on the next page, and that'll bring you to the game. 1G, Make the Sum. So the first step, you and your partner choose what your target sum will be. Remember, sum is a word that means the answer to an addition problem. So you need to choose which deck of cards you're going to use based on what sum you want to work on, what you want your target sum to be. Let's say you and your partner decide, hey, let's work on making sums of 10. What I would do is put a little star using the pencil tool down here so that you remember this is the deck that you're going to use, okay? You might be able to draw up here as well. So maybe an arrow or something just to remind you that is the deck of cards that you're going to be using. Now, you and your partner decide who's going to go first, and the first player then flips a card and puts it in the middle area. These are for both of you to use. So the first card is, the first player drew a 7. I'm going to look back at the instructions quick because I can't remember. Is the first player supposed to draw 2 cards or just 1? I'm going to go back and look. You can always do this. So it says players take turns drawing a card from the deck and placing it face up. Okay, so just 1 card. All right, the next step says at each turn, the player who turned over the new card looks for ways to make the target sum using 1 or more of the face-up cards. Okay, the face-up cards are community property, meaning they belong to both players at this point. They can be used by either player to make the target sum. Okay, so player 1 went over here. I'm just going to put a little note. This is player 1. This is player 2. Player 1 drew a card, and our target sum is 10. So player 1 doesn't get to keep any cards because 7 plus nothing is 7, and we need to get to a sum of 10. All right, now it's player 2's turn. Player 2 is going to flip a card from the same deck, and player 2 drew a 4. Player 2 is going to look at these cards and think, can I make a sum or an addition problem out of these 2 numbers to make 10? Let's think. 7 plus 4. I'm going to use my count on strategy for that. I'm going to say 7, and then I'm going to count up 4 from there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 7 plus 4 is 11. So player 2 does not get to keep any cards. Player 1 now gets to draw another card from the same deck. We're looking for a sum of 10, and player 1 flipped a 10. Is there anything here that we can add to get 10? We know 7 plus 4 is not 10. We just figured that out. Look, the 10 itself can be added to 0 to come up with 10. 10 plus 0 is 10. So player 1 gets to keep that card. All right, back to player 2. Let's flip a card. Player 2 got a 3. So looking at the cards, we have a 7, a 4, and a 3. Can I add any of these together to get 10? Player 2 is thinking about this, and player 2 realizes, yes, I can add 7 plus 3 to get 10. 7 plus 3 equals 10. So player 2 gets to keep these 2 cards. Back to player 1, picks 1 card and pulls it down and thinks, Can I add anything to get 10? Player 1 thinks, yes, I can add 4 plus 6 equals 10. So player 1 gets to keep these 2 cards. Player 2's turn. Only get to flip 1 card at a time, remember? And player 2 draws a 2. 2 plus nothing, because there's nothing else here to add. 2 plus nothing is 2. And remember, we needed a sum of 10. Back to player 1. Player 1 drew a 1. Does anything here add up to 10? 2 plus 1 is 3, not 10. Player 2's turn. Pick 1 card. All right, now let's think. Can we add anything together here to get 10? You can add more than 1 card together if you want. So let's see. 5. I'm going to put these in order because sometimes it's easier for me to think that way. 5 plus 2 plus 1. 5 plus 2, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. So we cannot quite get to 10 yet. 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 8, not 10. I think that was player 2's turn, I believe. So back to player 1. Player 1 gets to pick a card. And player 1 draws an 8. Let's look at our cards, player 1. Can any of these be added together to get 10? Think for a moment. I see a sum of 10. 8 plus 2 equals 10. Player 1 gets to keep these cards. Player 2's turn. Pick a card. It's a 0. 5 plus 0 plus 1. I don't see any sum of 10 here. Player 1, pick a card. Player 1 pulls a 7. Can we make a sum of 10 here? I don't think so. So boys and girls, what you would do, you and your partner would just continue on with this until there are no cards left. And the winner is the person with the most cards. So then you go back and count however many cards you had, and the winner is the player with the most cards. And that is how you play Make the Sum.